Hi, Mark Sarazana from the International Piano Technician School. I had a question from a member asking me, how can I tune the treble better? Click the link in the description for the free unison course. I'm having trouble tuning the treble. Well, there's a few things, but right now I'm just going to talk about some specific things that can help you. So here we have 3 strings, a left, a middle, and a right. And if we play those strings together, we can hear that something doesn't sound right. It's not clean. So the first thing we can do is we can do the single string test. Now the single string test will tell you very quickly if your unison is clean or not. Like some people can hear this and they'll go, I don't know, it sounds fine to me. Well, the single string test will help you. So if we just play the left string and then the unison, left string, and the unison. The key is to listen to see if there's any difference in the sound of the unison compared to the sound of the single string. Listen again. Single string, unison. Those are not the same. So that's a confirmation that the unison is not as clean as it could be. The reason for that is because our goal is to tune unisons so they sound like a single string. This is not a single string. So you might be saying there could be other reasons. Maybe there's false beats. So very good. We will check each string for false beats. Sounds good. Sounds good. Sounds good. So what we're listening for is this sound in one of the strings. And we can't find it. So that means this is a unison issue. So now the question is, which string is it? There's a couple of ways you can do that. The first way, a little bit easier, is to do what I call pair compare. So we're going to stick the mute in the left string and listen. Now we'll stick the mute in the right string and listen. They both sound bad. So the theory goes like this. If you have a unison that is out of tune and it's the left string, then when you mute the left, it'll sound good. When you mute the right, it'll sound bad. So that tells you it's the left string. If you have a unison where the right string is the problem, you mute the left, it sounds bad. You mute the right, it sounds good. It tells you it's the right string. But if you have a unison where the middle string is the problem, you mute the left, it sounds bad. You mute the right, it sounds bad. Now there is another problem you can have like this, where the unison is just horribly out all over the place. Mute the left sounds bad, mute the right sounds bad. But we need to get to a point where if we have a unison problem, we're so good that it's just one string. Okay, so we're going to be assuming that. So in that case, it's the middle string. So you could just go monkeying around with the middle string, but there's another trick you can use. And you can use this instead of the pair compare. Just pluck each string individually and try to hear if you can hear if one string is sharp or flat. And you can do that because when we listen to those high frequencies, for some reason our ear is much better at hearing these small differences in frequencies. So let's try that. Let's play the left string all by itself, listening to the melody, listening to the pitch, the middle string, and the right string. Listen to those again. Left, middle, right. In the piano, I would be plucking these strings one after the other very quickly. So I'm going to play these pitches quickly, one after the other, and see if you can tell what's wrong with the center string. So now that we know the center string is the issue, it makes it easier for us to pinpoint what the problem could be with the center string. But even if you don't know the center string is a problem, you can still pluck these strings and get a sense that one of them is sharper or flatter than the others. And if you heard that the center string was the one that was slightly sharper than the others, you were correct. So what would we do in that case? Well, we would just take our hammer, play the unison, and slightly lower the pitch using the technique that we teach, the massage technique. If you try to turn the pin up here, it's not gonna work. You need to use a slight massage, massaging the pin down. And I like to say that when beginners hear about this, they will break a tuning pin because they will always massage too much. They will bend the pin and break it. So I'm telling you to massage that string, and I'm also telling you that no matter what I tell you, you're still going to do it too much. So be aware of that and don't do it too much at all. Okay? So here we're going to massage this pitch down by changing the pitch down by about minus 0.2%. Now, what does it sound like? That's a lot better. Compare that with the unison before that was out of tune. And now the clean unison. A lot better. And that's exactly what you hear when you start massaging that pin down and you're playing the note. You hear it go from this sound to this sound. So that's a basic introduction to how to tune the treble. Also, there's a bunch of other things we didn't talk about, like this is how to tune a clean unison in the treble, but where should you put the pitch? Well, there's a whole other discussion we could have using the stretch interval set and different tests. But way up here at C7, we're just tuning by octaves anyways. And if our C6 was accurately tuned, then our C7 will sound good with C6, but also with F5 and F4 and C4. And that's the goal, to try and get those intervals to sound clean. But by far, the biggest challenge and the biggest responsibility and requirement of the piano tuner is to tune those treble notes clean and stable. This is how we can get them clean. The issue of stability is a whole other discussion. So I hope that helps. Try plucking the strings one after another and see if you can hear if one of them is sharper or flatter than the others.